This is what happens when we're busting at the seams. What's actually being depicted in that picture there are the cell areas. And these are the hallways leading to the cell areas. And that's where he's living. He's living in the hallway. I did one of these presentations one time and somebody interrupted me and said, "You really got those pictures from a third world country somewhere." But I didn't. That's where he's living. And that's why it says unauthorized. You're going to see a lot of that.
Can I comment on something?
Sure.
One of the concerns that I have when I see this is when I start thinking about evacuations, fire safety issues, life safety kind of issues. And now we have inmates, and there's quite a few hallways that we saw this throughout the facility, is if we have to start dumping out inmates into hallways to get them out of there, if there's a fire, if there's a particular issue, or smoke filling that area, and you've got people that are on the floor that we're trampling over or trying to get out, and we've got cells that are over capacity trying to trample out. We've got sort of a real bad mix of things right there, and the significance of the liability just goes through the roof when we start seeing these kind of issues.
I love this picture, and I'm going to keep it. Let's talk a little bit about your jail being ADA, American Disabilities Act. That's a stairwell where we take inmates up to court, and they're shackled, and they're cuffed. Now, we do have another egress, right, Sheriff?
Right.
Which is really a security breach and kind of out of pocket. We're going to have to go back the other way, go out to Sally Port, is that correct? Yes, sir. And up the hill. What I want you to see here, see this call out right here? Their shackles are bumping the steps as they go up. And they're trenching those concrete steps out. Isn't that something? Tells you it gets used a lot, doesn't it? There's a lot of movement going up those steps. Next slide. Let me tell you something. I don't like miles, but I've been doing this for a while. 6 years as jail administrator, 15 years with TCI. Collectively, between Jim and I here, we've probably got 70 years, and that's because he's older than I am. I've never seen this in my life. I have never seen this in a jail anywhere. This is a blatant breach of security. That's the public who's been up to court, who can take that back stairwell and come down and stand there and look through the bars up that egress and watch us book in their relative. Question was posed to me today, and I'm going to pose the same question to you. Let's say we just left your courtroom, and you bound them over to grand jury because it's a rape case, and Daddy's upset. Daddy doesn't go through a pat down. He doesn't go through a magnetron. He shows up right here and pulls a pistol out.
Doesn't everybody through the jail go through the metal detector?
Not down that back staircase.
Not when you come in to visit. I mean, not if you're going through that Sally Port, you come down the back steps and through that door right there.
Well, why would we do
they
that?
allowed to do that?
That seems like that'd be pretty
Well,
easy to
that's in
fix.
the visitation. I
That's
mean,
where bondsmen and
everybody comes in right there.
Can we fix that this week? Can we not put something up here on these bars?
Put one of those mats.
That's what somebody said today. Somebody said, let an inmate take some of them mats. No, can we not buy some decking and just bolt it up there and be done with it?
What'd be wrong with that, Sheriff?
Well, one thing I see may be wrong with it, the jailers are monitoring those people outside there. Well, the problem we got these people coming in that we know are a threat to our system.
Right.
But we are understaffed. I can't help that. That is what I got in 2006 when I walked in there.
That's the waiting area. In other jails, people will come into a waiting area.
Right, that's where the lawyers and everybody comes through this central location.
And there's no desk or any place for anyone to be a receptionist. I'm not a living jail, I kinda like to think the solution is to free everybody, but there's no way, if something's put up without a camera or something, people could stand there forever.
We can't see the people if we put up something, so it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, we can put something up so they can't see in, but when we do that, we can't see out to see them.
And plus, the bondsmen do their business with inmates through that gate.
But this needs some study, so I would suggest today that we do this, Mr. Chairman, before you leave. If you could ask for some volunteers on this committee to get with the sheriff and his staff and start looking at ways that we can fix that. Because that right there is very, very dangerous. Not only for your staff, but for the general public.
I agree.
That's unauthorized. This is what Mr. Hart was referring to. This is unauthorized. This is living in a hallway. This is living in a hallway. This is where we're at. Again, he spoke to the evacuation and what would have to take place. The cells are back this way. That's how dark it is in there. I actually took one video today, and hold this one, because this is my favorite out of all of them. Because I've never seen that in my correctional experience in my life. But it's dark in that jail, which is it's a security problem for our officers. It's dangerous when you go back there and it's dark. You can get hurt. People die in these jails, ladies and gentlemen. Inmates make weapons. I got a trunk full of them out there. Shanks, knives, stuff that's scared you to death if you saw them. That's a hammock. He wanted up off the floor, so he took some sheets and made himself a hammock. And I asked the young man, I said, how did you get in that hammock? He said, they helped put me in here. So he had other inmates help put him in there. So I asked him to cover his face, but
4 Pop-Tarts.
full Pop-Tarts.
You had to pay others Pop-Tarts for them to help them in there.
Yeah, when he got it, there's Pop-Tarts down in here. So that you go down the hall, and the first thing we opened the door, we looked, I went, what? Okay, next time. A typical cell. Listen, I mean, our officers down there are doing what they can do. Look, when you overcrowd your jail, it does away with classification. Classification is simply a process which we go by in order to run our jails. So we're going to put the jaywalker in this area of the jail, and we're going to put the axe murderer in this part of the jail. Well, when your jail's beyond its capacity, then we lose that ability. Some of those other cells. These are the females. Next slide. And they're stacked in there like a portable